So without wasting much time, we want to get started. I want to acknowledge our special guest speaker all the way from Federal University of Technology, Nigeria, who is here in our midst, and the other team of Youth-GETHER Global and the Digit Girl Child partners. I also want to acknowledge the efforts of the Youth-GETHER Global in trying to ensure that our mission, our vision, and our passion for the youth and the younger ones are not being left behind. So I want to hand over the moderation of this thing to our moderator for today, Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Monica Sanchez, who is here in our midst to take over the program.
Good morning, good morning. Greetings, everyone. You know, we are in a technical era, and of course, I'm having some technical error with the program here. So I just want to say that I am having a little bit of accessing the program here.
Okay.
So
Let me send it to you. You want me to get it to your WhatsApp or to your...
No, you can resend it to the email. Just resend it. I don't know why there's a technical glitch here.
All right. Oh boy.
I know we are in the age of technology, and even though this is a plus, it's also a minus because everything is technical.
Yeah.
It is so nice to see everyone online. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I know things have been so rough from this time, since this week. So I will send it again, so check it now.
Okay, let me just check it.
Yes, so things have been so rough. This week was tasking for us here with respect to the forthcoming Commission on Status of Women.
Well, the UN have a way of having you on your toes all the time. Okay, so it is here. So let's get started. The first thing on the agenda this morning, of course,
just do your opening remarks.
It is now 10:30, and it's about digitalizing. You know, Miss CARICOM organization, we are women in power. We are very focused on gender equality, and we've been doing outreach program in developing countries to utilize mainstream media technology to engage education and some major concern in grassroots communities. As you know, COVID-19 era led us down a new pathway when they were isolation, when people had to be quarantined and you couldn't have social contact, you had to have social distancing. And so because of this era, we finally reshined the spotlight on technology, and technology was developed even a little bit more to reach and to communicate and to help during this crisis. So it is now our initiative to use that technology, to build on that technology, to try to pursue our goal, which is gender equality and moving forward in grassroots communities. So we have been focused on trying to strengthen our programs that we have in these communities using technology. You know that we have launched digitalizing fashion education. And so now we have developed online programs that we are going to extensively market and in those communities where the girl child, the older women that are marginalized and that are not reachable, we want them to be able to have a chance to be educated. And so we are campaigning now for tablets, computers, cell phones to distribute into those areas so that we can no one can be left behind, because now the possibility to share education, the possibility to be educated on just about anything exists because of technology, because of digitalizing. So apart from us developing our own program on digitalizing fashion, we are also very focused on trying to reach the unreachable through technology. And we hope that we'll be able to achieve our goals. And we celebrate all those partners who are trying to the same line and who are going down this avenue to reach those that they couldn't reach before through technology, because now it's a possibility. So thanks to COVID-19, we are now on a new road where gender equality and reaching every girl child, the one who is under the tree, the one who is in a little hut, the one who is don't have any roads or anything to the village, we can now reach them through technology, because we can send them a cell phone, we can send them a tablet, and we can have that program to them. So I want to thank you very much. And we want to focus on digital technology and technology in trying to reach as many marginalized people as we can, so that gender equality and gender education can get to another level and we can eventually leave no one behind. I thank you. As we continue, we are going to hear the message from Dr. Ada Kika, our Chancellor of Youth Together Global this morning. Dr. Ada, the floor is yours. And I must say, you look beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador Monica, for that opening remarks. And with Youth Together Global, we are very passionate about the future of the younger adults. When the UN said, leave no one behind, but the youth in the younger adults in developing countries, especially in rural communities, seems to be left behind. And this is our passion, that we should all come up to be able to strengthen our positive future together. So girls are leaders. Girls are change makers. Girls are shining growth and growth around the world. They are fundamental source of transformational change for gender equality, and technology is a crucial tool to support their work, activism, and leadership. October 11 every year, UN Women join other UN agencies, civil societies, girls around the world to celebrate the International Day of the Girl Child and the termed Digital Generation for Generation. And to them, they said, together we are calling for equal access to the internet and digital devices for girls, and targeted investment to facilitate opportunities for girls to safely and meaningfully access, use, lead, and design technology. Digital inclusion and literacy open new avenues to learning, earning, and leading for girls, especially during and after the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has also deepened the gender divide around connectivity and online safety, with girls facing economic and social barriers to internet and device access. Earlier this year, the Generation Equality Forum set technology and innovation as a priority in global conversation on gender equality. Leaders from civil society, governments, the private sector, and youth movement made commitment to build more inclusive digital societies, digital and putting girls and women and young women in the center of designing and learning solutions for the digital world. At the 2021 International Day of the Girl Child, YouthGether Global flagged off a global campaign on Digit Girls as a platform to bring girls in rural communities of developing countries to technology change and digital literacy. Since its launch, the Governing Council has taken the responsibility in creating opportunities for girls in communities to get assimilated with digital literacy, innovation, and creativity. We have training centers in Nigeria, South Africa, Tanzania, and Uganda. We are also in collaboration with the City College in New York as a resource center for literacy education. YouthGether Global is proud to declare that through its initiative, Digit Girl, our youth are communicating effectively through social media, WhatsApp, Zoom, and many other digital channels of communication. We have also planted literacy education in some schools to encourage both boys and girls to, to engage in technology education. At present, we are utilizing technology to help youth develop their creative skills and potentials and be able to face the digital world of work. We are thankful to Emmanuel of Nigerian Nollywood, who is mentoring youth on scripts writing and acting skills, movie production, and editing. At this year's International Day of the Girl Child, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and the Under Secretary General of UN Women, Madam Sima Sami Bahut, asserted that the need for government, organizations, and agencies to ensure that the girl child is provided with adequate skills to face the present new normal and her sustainable future. The Governing Council of YouthGether Global is committed to this cause, and within the next year, we are expanding our global horizon on digitalizing the girl child into skills for the positive future. I want to encourage you that the work of YouthGether Global has been streamlined to touch the lives and the future of the young adults, especially today when we are flagging off or when we are joining the global community that has celebrated the Day of the Girl Child on October 11th to bring up on board what we have been doing in the past 1 year in trying to teach the girl child, and also to reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that the girls in the rural communities are bring up on board to get to these SDG goals at the decade of action and be able to utilize their inherent talents and skills and knowledge, improving their choices on STEM education most importantly. We all know that girls in developing countries, especially Africa, are derailed from having careers on STEM education. And without the STEM education, a lot of positions in the digital world are being marginalized for women. So our effort is to expand our mission to include skills, education, exchange education program, enrichment program to enable the girls in developing countries come up with their defined vision and be positive to their own sustainable future. So we call upon you as you are listening to us, whether you're on social media or whether you're on this line, to come up with ideas that can help YouthGether Global to advance this cause. Girls are lacking behind in everything about STEM and technology education, and we need to let them know that it is a necessary means right now, especially since we are endeared into this agenda from the COVID-19 pandemic and the new normal. I thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. That was excellent. Our next agenda on the program is our special presentation, Skills for Girls, Our Time is Now. And this presentation is by Professor Nicholas Awokwa, Dean, School of Information and Communication Technology, Federal University of Technology, Minna, Niger State. Welcome, Professor. Professor, are you online?
You are muted, yeah. Unmute yourself.
Mute. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, yes.
Oh, okay. So it is my pleasure to be invited to this epoch-making event. I am delighted indeed to be a part of this year's program. I would like to share my screen, if you could permit me. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Please, I would like to share my screen.
You have the access. You have the access now.
Yes, you have access
Okay,
now, please.
access.
Go ahead and share. Yes.
Okay, so Akachuku. All right, just a minute. I'll share my screen. Access. Right. I bet I can see it. So you have to. So yes, so can you hear me and can you see?
We can hear you, we can see you. Yeah, we can hear you, we can see you. Please go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so topic of the presentation, digital skills for girls, our time is now. So this is for us a project. Of course, we have a project along these lines, and what I'm simply going to be doing here is to be sharing insights from what we are doing in this part of the country. But I believe that Nigeria being a developing country, this would be applicable to all the developing countries, as it were. So the essence is to promote gender equality and inclusion, especially in tech, technology, science, technology, engineering, math. And how are we going to be doing this? By nurturing ideas and talents and the digital skills of the Nigerian girl child. So I'm going to be approaching this from the perspective of an academic. In the academia, what are we going to be doing to ensure that there is investment in girl child education, to ensure that their skills in technology are developed? So what we have been doing is to work with the technology industry in Nigeria to provide technical support to the girl child and to encourage her future pursuit, involvement, and participation in tech careers and tech entrepreneurship. That's what we've been doing, So this presentation, I'm just going to be sharing how we were through. This is the project we have on hand to ensure that this happens. The digital skills for Nigerian Girl Child Community Service Project. And we are doing this across 3 universities in Nigeria, looking at the northern region. So 3 universities are involved. Federal University of Technology, Minna, for North Central Nigeria, American University of Nigeria for Northeastern Nigeria, and then the Bayero University in Kano for Northwestern Nigeria. So it's going to be a collaboration with IT professionals and IT entrepreneurs in Northern Nigeria to empower the girl child with the skills that are required to cultivate the mindset that will promote the culture of innovation, which is very important. So as I've already said, the project is for girls in upper primary school, upper junior secondary school, and senior secondary school, and even tertiary institutions, and even out of school girls, in the communities in these northern states. Now, what is the goal of this project? It is to connect the girl child to mentors and partners, as well as exposing them to the role models, capacity building activities in the Nigerian tech ecosystem. Objectives, specifically, what this project aims at doing is to provide female role models in tech for the Nigerian girl child. Now, this is very important because statistics have shown, a 2009 study by Capital showed that 3 out of 4 women that have stayed in employment in tech jobs is because they had role models they were looking up to, as against 56% of those who dropped off from those jobs. So we believe that it's very important to have a system where role models can be provided for those girls so that they can inspire them and help them to take up subjects that are STEM-based. And also to initiate activities, tech activities that will improve the digital and technical skills of the girl child, and then to encourage participation from them, such activities as hackathons and ideathons. We also hope through this project to create opportunities for girls to establish or to become members of tech communities or networks, and to access capacity building programs and mentoring sessions. Also to promote access of girls to business incubation programs and startup clinics, so that you can help them to nurture their skills for entrepreneurship. And then lastly, to inspire girls to aspire to pursue STEM degrees in the future. How do we intend to do this? By providing an opportunity for them to develop and showcase their innovations. Now, what are the activities, or what approaches are we going to be using for this? 5 of those approaches, as it were. Number 1, to showcase female role models in tech. Number 2, create opportunities for hands-on experiences, encourage a growth mindset, create social networks between girls and tech professionals, and then as much as possible to encourage policy advocacy on tech. Now, the first approach, showcasing female role models in tech. Now, we want to organize events, career events, wherein we can bring successful women who are successful in tech, to share their stories with the girls, to tell them how they got into the profession and how they were able to make progress over time, as well as have them share their experiences, what have been their challenges, what have been their opportunities, the weaknesses, threats, and all of that, so that the girls could, from now, begin to understand the dynamics of what it takes to be in technology. And also the concept of mentor teachers. Mentor teacher is the fact that you bring people from the industry, women who are outstanding, who are successful in technology, and then maybe once in a term or twice in a term, bring them to teach. They teach those girls as mentors, and then that inspires them to make them want to be like those women they are seeing that are coming to teach them. So we hope that this approach would stimulate girls, and then will give them the opportunity to hone their tech skills. Now, the second approach is to create opportunities for hands-on experiences. Under this, we're hoping to create things like IT clubs for girls. You could call them girls in tech or girls who code clubs, so that they can learn, and they can acquire skills on how to code, and then many other aspects like creating games of their own, software development, and all of those. then opportunities for them to volunteer and then to participate in the activities of non-profit, and then workshops. We could also organize workshops and bring in specialists who will teach them things like programming, coding, and then even have them to develop applications, video games. You give them opportunity for this. After teaching them, you give them opportunity to try their hands on this, and then you could have those outputs. Again, we hope to encourage growth mindset. How do we go about this? Organizing seminars, bringing in women in tech who have good track record to share their experiences, to tell them what it is, to develop those skills. And then creativity and innovation. For instance, you can come up with challenges like hackathons, ideathons, and all of that. And then you could also give them goals like creating patents for their innovations, having innovations that could be patented. That's what I mean. Give them such goals, challenge them, and guide them. So these are some of the things we are hoping to do to encourage growth mindset. And then creating social networks between girls and professionals. We hope that we'll connect them to some networks and some tech communities so that they can become members. For instance, we have a relationship with one of the tech companies that specializes in fintech. It's called the FSI, Fintech Sport Initiative. We could link them to that and then help them develop those skills belonging to those communities. Because early this year, we had a hackathon that was geared towards providing solutions, providing solutions for the fintech industry in northern Nigeria. And what we did was to have a group, so to speak, for all of those participants. We created a group for them, a community for them, so that from time to time we could, call them back to hone their skills. Amazing. And then to create more opportunities for them to get involved in other competitions,
Thank you so
training
much.
and mentoring and participation in tech events. Now for policy, we have it in mind that we could promote investment. And I think this is what is really key here. Investment and gender mainstreaming in STEM programs. We would promote advocacy for this, which is what we have been doing in the past. And then to encourage curriculum development, and then to create ideas or initiatives that would support women in technology education, for the policy makers. And so there are basic outcomes that we hope to achieve with this. For the primary, secondary, and tertiary schools, we hope that the implementation of this program will help them develop internal capacity for tech capacity building activities. They develop that capacity for building tech activities, and then that could also result in sustainable training programs and research projects and engagements. We also hope that this would lead to having girls tech clubs, and those clubs will have the capacity for hands-on learning experiences. And we also hope that it will create a network of mentor teachers, bringing people from the industry who will from time to time come to teach using their experiences, and then having that motivate the girls. We also hope that it will lead to improvement in investment in STEM education And because it's a regional thing, we are looking at it to cover the whole of northern Nigeria. It will bring about robust regional collaboration in tech networks that will nurture innovative ideas, talents, and digital skills of the girl child. So by way of conclusion, it is a considered opinion that the outcomes we have listed here, they will to a large extent narrow the gender gap in tech and promote gender diversity and inclusion in tech ecosystem, not only in northern Nigeria, but the whole of Nigeria. And if those approaches are adopted in developing countries, they can also turn the tide and change the outcomes, of girls in tech ventures or initiatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dean. You did an excellent presentation there, especially talking about showcasing the girl child. When it comes to innovation, we always see men in tech showcases. We very rarely see a very small percentage of women in showcasing. So that's an excellent policy you're trying to establish there. Also the hands-on and web, we need that. We need a hands-on showcasing. We need the networking. Those are excellent programs that you're putting in place for tech when it comes to gender equality and women showcasing. We want to congratulate you on that excellent presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
As we continue the program, Repositioning the Girl Child, Sustainable Future, and our panelist is Sokhaniel, Yudhista Sokhaniel. I hope that I'm pronouncing these name correctly. And as you come on, I would encourage you to say your name so we know that it's the correct version of your name. I'm a Caribbean learning to pronounce these African names. So just excuse me. Lesigo Moshan, Sipahokaze Casey, C. Mandela. You're next on the panelists, and I encourage you to introduce your name as you come on. Are you online?
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I presenting now or after Ms. Yandisa?
No, you are first.
Oh, okay.
No, Ms. Yandisa is first if she is online.
Okay. No, she's online. She's online.
So you are first. You are second. Yodita, you're there? You're first.
Yes. Earth. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me well? Oh, good morning, good afternoon.
Yes, we can hear you well. Please go ahead.
Oh, yes, all protocol observed. Yes, thank you so much. Firstly, you pronounced my name correctly. It's Yandisa Sokhaniel. I am from South Africa. I am based in Johannesburg. I am a founder and the Chief Digital Officer of a telecoms company called Connector, and a very passionate tech guru or activist, and also an advocate for young girls and women within the tech space. Thank you.
Yeah, go on with your presentation.
Go ahead with your presentation.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't prepare presentation. I thought it's a panel discussion that we'll be embarking on. I can ask Lesego to start with her presentation. I can come afterwards just to grab mine. I thought the session is a panel discussion.
That is fine. So we'll let someone with a presentation.
I think you share your thoughts on what you are doing as a digital, in your capacity as a a digital officer in your company, and what you are doing and how best we can integrate it to the girl child.
Digital guru.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so firstly, I just want to say, you know, it is really a concern, and I think a challenge that we really need to take on to bring the girl child into the tech space, especially now in the region. There are so many opportunities, and if we look at it, technology cuts.
No, leave, yes, from that one.
Professor Nicholas, you're mute yourself, please.
Pardon?
Mute yourself, please. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, so my point is looking at the fourth industrial revolution and where we are right now, technology cuts right across every sector, every industry, and it's gonna impact all our lives. So we need to also look at innovation, which is quite important. And where we are, we also need to be promoting innovation and entrepreneurship, which are the key things that will drive and change the story of an African child. I always like to go back to our roots, our culture, and who we are as Africans. And if we look at where we are as a continent, firstly, all the other continents are far advanced, mostly in terms of technology, innovating on the inventions that they have developed. But here in Africa, we tend to be consumers of that technology. So we need to start reshaping and remodeling an African girl to start looking back and start investing. We still need to start adopting that culture of inventing and solving our own problems, because we know our problems better. And we know the solution. So we cannot wait for the world to come in and solve our problems and turn us into consumers of technology that is not even developed within the continent. So that requires a multi-stakeholder approach. We need to get everybody on board: government, civil society, corporates, educational institution, citizens. Everybody needs to have their hands on the deck. It cannot work. It's not a one-sided approach. We cannot rely on government only. We cannot rely on NGOs only, or say this is an educational matter. It is a matter that requires everybody, multi-stakeholders, to have engagements and to start making sure that we put processes in place that will enable the African child to be able to start their inventions and be able to commercialize those inventions and innovate on all the other inventions that have been developed. And also, we need to find a way of getting back to a place where we love ourselves enough that anything that is African, we can embrace it. Because we tend to have a tendency of waiting for the world. Anything that is European or comes from outside, from the West, we always embrace it. You see that especially with our fashion industry, where we only wear traditional clothes when it's a certain specific sort of a function. And then on the other days, we go out and be wearing brands that are so expensive. Yet if an African produces the same or even a better quality, don't want to spend the money. So it goes back to us starting to trust our own inventions, starting to trust our own selves, and also putting, I think, support processes and measures behind these young girls and all of these African inventions. And also, I want us to start decoding technology first, and not make it as this thing that is out there. Technology is just an enablement that enhances what we already have. If I remember back then when I was a kid, we used to make cars using wire, those were our toys. We created our own toys. And, if you had to give a child in the rural area some internet connection where they can do research, give them some resources, you'll be amazed at the inventions that will come out. These children are doing so much. I see children here in South Africa and Limpopo, making and developing, manufacturing their cars. Some children in Pretoria actually made a train and it was moving. These are school kids that are just playing around. Imagine now if there is support behind those kids. We could actually go far, and we have the potential. The resources are there. It's just they are scattered all over. They are not aligned, because everyone thinks this is somebody else's problem. The other ones are facing, their own challenges on the side. But what I think we should be doing is, firstly, three things. One, women that are already within the IT space or the sector needs to open up the table, right? We need to be having these engagements of encouragement, because once you see somebody that looks like you, that looks familiar, it sort of boosts your confidence to say that, I can do this too. So we need to advocate for other young girls or other women to participate. I'm in the telecom space. My God, it is male dominated. They go to a meeting, say, "Good morning, gentlemen," and I say, "Oh yes, I'm here," So these are the spaces that we need to be occupying, and telecoms is driving the economy. They talk about spectrum and everything, but you don't find women participating in those discussions, and you find the major companies are still playing this, that those spaces are still closed. So firstly, we really need to advocate and actually share the information, bring everyone on board. And we need to be, secondly, is to be intentional and deliberate about entrepreneurship and innovation. There has been stats that have been published, and it's a known fact that small businesses do not survive beyond 2 years. Yes, they won't survive beyond 2 years because people give up. And we need to remove that, because what is it that you can start and grow? How do you grow a legacy in 2 years? If Coca-Cola sold 1 can of Coke in their first year, and today they are still here and surviving, that means it did not take one year or 2 years. We must do away with the microwave mentality of things. You cannot microwave entrepreneurship or business. In 2 years, you are still on research of your business. You are still trying to find your feet. You're going to tweak your business plan and your business case. So what is really required is enterprise development programs that will support these entrepreneurs right from year 1 to year 5. Then at year 5, that's where you can find stability within these businesses, especially in the innovation space, because there's a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of research and development that has to take place. So before we say that the business is successful, let's stop wanting to build unicorns and make examples of your Facebook. They have backing. They already had research that was done, years of research that was done. They have financial backing. The landscape is different in Africa. So the issue of us saying that we don't know why business fail within the first 2 years, yes, nothing will thrive within first 2 years. I know even if you are in a relationship, you want to get married, people would date for 5, 6 years before they even get married, because also there's that maturity level of things. So anything that is worth building will take longer than that. So we need processes. We just need enterprise development funds from corporate. We need government support. We need funding support that can be put behind these entrepreneurs and innovators so that they can carry on. The other challenge is that when they are starting with nothing and there's no funding, now they have to think, do I pay my food or my rent, or must I take that money and plow it back to business? If there's nothing backing them, they'll take that money and survive, because when you don't have anything in the stomach, you can't be thinking, oh yes, I am building another Coca-Cola that's going to be big in 10 or 15 years. They're thinking for now. So we need to look at our demographics and our current situation and come up with entrepreneurship and innovation plans that fit our continent. The third part I would like to say is that education, I think we need to rechange our education, whether we start, and including innovation, and start preparing our girls for the future, for the world that we live in, because our education system hasn't changed much from what it was. I was so frustrated when I saw my nephew studying the locusts. I said, God, I used to hate this thing well back then. So that means they're still doing exactly the same thing that we're doing. The jobs of the future, half of the work that we know won't exist, half of the jobs will not exist in the next 10 years. So why are we not changing the skills, the education process, or what we have in schools? So we need to start putting innovation from great not. That has to be part of the process, and also not just, learning maths and science or Pythagoras theory, just life skills, survivor skills, the people etiquette, all of those things that are quite important, because those are the skills that will require when you get into your business and just building your future. So if we start looking how we can engage with the departments of education or the education sector and start putting these skills into the school's program, or starting programs that run parallel right from primary school and not wait for people to get to university. By the time kids get to high school, they should be starting what we call probably high school innovation, high school entrepreneurship, where they start their own businesses in high school. The time they get to varsity, they're doing, varsity hackathons or stuff like that. By the time they complete, then they don't have the mindset of being unemployed graduates or looking for work in corporate or government. By the time they graduate, their mindset already is geared up for business, or already they've started something. But we sort of have that waiting game that we do and start trying to fix problems when they are even bigger. So if we start looking and saying, let's grow a different generation that is tech savvy, that is well equipped with life skills and soft skills as well. There's a lot of mental health. We need to include even spiritual health within the school systems, because look at it, you are mind, body, and soul, but you are told how to build a six-pack, how to work out your mind, but no one talks to you about your spirit, your soul, and how to nourish and feed that and be a holistic person. So there's a lot that still needs to be done in the education, the values that we instill, so that our girls, when they see opportunities, they can recognize opportunities, they can be able to take those opportunities, and they don't feel inferior, or they don't have any, inferiority complex or syndrome when they see these opportunities. So we want to build a generation of strong girls that is able to participate in any part of the world, in any boardroom, without looking at gender, and just being able to fit in within that space. So that is my input on the topic as a mother to a girl myself. So that is a deliberate effort that I do personally, because I look at how these kids are engaging now and how they are so easy with technology. But it's just we need to guide them to the right direction and be able to impact that knowledge to them. And I still believe the greatest inventions of our time will come from Africa and will come from rural kids who are solving their own problems. The only thing that they just require is for us to come together, work on processes that can back them up, that can support them, start the business and give them a 5-year incubation or probation period, and be able to support them right through until this business can stand alone. And I think if we come together in this manner and be able to engage and have these conversations often, I think we'll be able to get through and open this table and even elongate it wider and have tech leaders and unicorns that come out of our beautiful continent. Thank you.
I could see now why they call you the tech guru. Very intense, very accurate, and very on point as to what we need to do and what the issues are. Thank you so very much. Let's see, go. It's you. You're up.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Good afternoon. It is in the afternoon here in South Africa. It is just after 5:30 in the afternoon. My name is Lesego Motshwane. I am the
Lisa,
youth president.
please try to be on video so that we don't leave Lesego alone on the panel table.
Okay, my name is Lesego Motshwane. I am the Global Youth President for World Youth Leading Change, and I'm also the founder of the Serata Batho Foundation, which is an organization that supports women who struggle with gynecological conditions. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this great and exciting program that will empower young girls. From my side, the girl child should indeed be prioritized, given opportunities for education, gender equality, equal pay, and also participate in the growth of the economy. But what we also need to think about is their mental health, girls' mental health, menstrual health, their physical health, and not only looking at one angle, but looking at everything holistically, and also investing in the girl child also will positively impact the coming generations. As the World Youth Leading Change, our mandate is to implement programs that will develop and empower the youth through skills development and mentorships. And it is in this light that we commit to bettering the life of the girl child through all the initiatives and the programs that will ensure that the girl child is empowered and developed to be the great women in their communities. Thank you so much.
Short and sweet, but I want to say that it's really important because we know that Africa has the youngest generation in the world today. And so the future of the girl child is really important in impacting generations, future generations. We're not only thinking about today, but we're thinking about generations to come. And it's so important that the physical and mental health of the girl child is considered. Because when we think about gender equality, we think about all the challenges that a girl child goes through, but the physical and mental challenges are the most impacting. And if those are not addressed, then definitely there can be no educational impact on the girl child. So I thank you very much. Thank you for that. Next, we have our third speaker, which is I am not going to mess up your name, so I'm going to have you come on and say your name. Let's Mosha, if I'm saying that right. Are you online? You're up next.
She is not online. I've not been able to see her, and we're trying to reach her. It's like she's having some network challenges. So we go over to the next program and see if we can catch up with her.
All right. So our next gender is the digital girl, which is Child in School, and it's a video presentation. And I know I saw Director Mary Correct online, You2Gether Global. I know I saw her online earlier. So the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much. I hope everybody can hear me. So I'm going to move my microphone back in front. So do I have the capability of doing the screen share as well?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I appreciate this. I love hearing all the comments. Everybody is doing such a wonderful job. And I want to tell you that when I put this together, I was thinking not only digital skills, but more aligned with the STEM, the overall, youth, and trying to incorporate that technology that we are going to learn into other areas, and using that STEM to kind of create that imagination, that creativity, that innovation aspect of what we all want to do. So what we can do with what we learn with digital skills is advancing it along those lines into innovation. And that's kind of the sweet spot of where I live with my business and my work. So let me share my screen. I have prepared something, and I hope it will work out very well for everybody. Let's see. I think this might be it. Let's see. Share screen. Let me try this one more time. I'm feeling you are sharing screen. Okay, I'm going to try it one more time because I know I have to try to get the volume there. Share sound. There we go. And find what I'm looking for. I've got to pick one, and I just lost it. Of course I did. Let me get it back up. And I'm going to find it. Just give me a second. There we go. Here it comes. And now let me share the screen. And get the sound. And it's not letting me share the sound. Let's try. Okay. Can you guys hear me still?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to play it. If you can't hear the sound, which I'm not sure you will be able to, then I will just kind of moderate it. So somebody let me know if you can't hear it, okay?
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mary Keurig, and I was sort of happy.
We can hear you.
Bring you some of the videos that I found through people that I know who are working on girls in technology, working to help them skill up so that they have better opportunities. So I want to share a few of those with you. And I'm getting ready to now share my screen and hopefully show the sound too. So the first one up I'm going to pick is this one. And we'll listen to a little bit of that, okay? Now, that was pretty great. I want you to understand this is a fairly new program that they've got going on there in Ghana. And it took a woman named Abigail Wilson, who is running this program, to connect with a gentleman who's from that area, but living in the United States, and he's out in California, to combine their efforts. That gentleman is sort of sponsoring this program. So he's provided a lot of the technology and the internet connectivity, even some lunch, I think, when the girls get together. But what I think is extraordinary here, we're talking about how it ties into the correctional system and how the most at-risk youth can be impacted by this. So what you saw there, I actually asked them to put that together because I knew about the program. And I can't give all of it away, but the program actually potentially runs through, I should say, yet another game development company in the United States. And then from there, a game publishing company. And if I told you the name, you'd recognize it. So they're working out some things and trying to figure out how they can move these girls through this program and do well enough that they can actually get an internship at this day's publishing company. So that's pretty remarkable. So I want to share with you, let me go back to the share screen. It'll let me go back to the screen again. There we go. Go here. Let's do Tech Girls. This isn't actually a video. This is something that I found through someone else that I know. But this is, I think, through the State Department in the United States. And this is an actual exchange program, as you can see up there. But it's Tech Girls, called Tech Girls. And it's a US-based summer exchange program designed to empower and support young women. You can see the ages there, 15 to 17, from the US and select countries around the world, to pursue higher education and careers in science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, of course. So I wanted to bring that up because I tripped across it and I thought, what a great opportunity for people to know about. And the fact that the US State Department is pushing this forward. So just wanted you to see that. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Here's another one I found. African Girls Can Code, another coding opportunity here, closing the gender gap, clearly aimed at our female population. This is United Nations Girls Education Initiative. Probably most of you even heard of this. I had not, so I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. And that's not really a video, that's just a screenshot. So here's another one that is a video. So let me pull it back to the very beginning so you can see that. I'm going to play that one. Okay, the lady that you're seeing there, LJ Henderson, she's the founder and creator. You can see of Little STEM Lab kits. She puts together these kits. And that's what I think is really interesting, although we tend to talk more about digital skills with girls, and I'll show you a little something in a minute that I'm involved in to that end. But I think when you see how excited and how interested and engaged the youth are when you can get them into something that's hands-on, you start to see them sort of blossom. And I think that's sort of the point here is STEM just takes in it all. There's technology built throughout all of this, but you get them interested, you've got them. So that's one. I'm going to skip over to that one. Do this one. Mentor Her to Greatness. Mentor Her to Greatness about a year ago, maybe a little longer, launched a program called Tech Her to Greatness. And so it takes a little bit older young ladies and they give them basically a scholarship to come through some basic skills training in technology. And when I say basic, I'm talking about like website development and some of those sorts of things that you and I probably take for granted. But this program is based out of Nigeria and was started by a gentleman named Augustine Igweshi. And I've partnered with his organization. I have done a little bit of training with this group, or this cohort that just started about a month or so ago. And I also am mentoring this program. And I wanted you to get a chance to see just a little bit about it.
Hey, listen to me. You're never too old to be in tech. Yes, you can be in tech. And you can do anything with technology. You can learn any research skills of your choice, of your desire, of course. Well, if you still have doubt in your mind about what I just said, watch this video, see their testimony for yourself.
My name is Edna Samson. Now I'm among the 50 young women that were selected by the Mental Health Witness in Africa to undergo a 3-month digital skill training and internship. I'm so privileged and I'm so happy to be among the young women that were selected. So before I was selected for this program, I thought digital skill is only for the male. I was so scared of it. Like I thought I cannot even do it. But when I was selected and with the help of our facilitators, Mrs. Sadia Muchala, Bora, and co-facilitators, Ms. Fatima, Ms. Abike, Ms. Stella, they helped us during the course, and we are so glad. I'm so privileged in particular. I was able to create my own website. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so glad about it. So thank you so very much. This is my website. Take a look at it and tell me. Thank you.
That's an OL. I'm going to leave it at that. You get the idea of the the depth that they go with these girls, and more than that, they're creating mentorship sorts of engagement that actually lead to internships. I do know that last year there was a gentleman that I introduced to them that actually did a little bit of training, and he ended up mentoring a couple of the girls and had them as, I believe, hired interns for a few months. And so just like the young Nigerian that I've hired to help me with some things, it's a journey that we're learning together. So we're kind of growing together. Actually, the young lady that I've hired knows more and knows it faster than I do. So she's way ahead of me. So it's such an important thing to, as we know, try to kind of embrace these girls and embrace the programs that are holding them up. So this is just my little presentation. It's not much, but I wanted to share. Okay. So I'm going to get out of sharing and say bye-bye. Okay, that's sort of the presentation that I have. You all can hear me, right?
Yes.
So good. I'm gonna leave the share, but what I wanted to say is to all of you is that there's at least 3 of those programs that I shared that I knew personally. The one that was the Little STEM Academy actually came through one of my front runners who has a contract with NASA for his own innovations, and he introduced me to them. I can tell you that all 3 of these programs that I know that I shared with you today would be more than happy to partner with you together to help to do anything on any level that they can possibly do to help push things forward according to what you're trying to do with the digital education with girls. So I'm going to say that, and also indicate that I believe Blessing is on this, is among our audience here. She's the young lady that I've hired to help me and been working with her. And also Julianne is on this call also, both of them tied to Mentor Her to Greatness and Tech Her to Greatness. So yay, girls. Thank you for showing up. So anyway, I wanted to just leave it at that, and happy to answer any kind of questions about any of these programs later. Okay.
Amazing, amazing.
Is that all? Is that all the video sharing?
Yes. Dr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Yes, there are a couple of other local African videos that that we have. I don't know what your time is like, because we would like to showcase them.
Okay, Dr. Ada could answer that, the Chancellor.
Please, let's showcase them. It's important.
Yeah, okay.
So we bring them in now?
I had compiled them and shared them with Mary, but I think it was lost in the park. So let me see. Let me just go back now to where I know the words so that I can share screen and share them. Just a minute.
Okay, while you do that, I just want to make a comment about the presentation we just saw. I know that it is absolutely amazing that you work with these young ladies and that you were able to share that with us. But once again, we see the power of technology, because look what we just learned by you having the ability to share that tech with us by videotaping it and putting it together and sharing it with us. So we see how important and how great it is, the technology. So we must continue on this journey to empower girls and to share this knowledge and to enable them to access technology so that they can experience things that we just experienced. I want to thank you. I just wanted to say that. It's awesome. Dr. Osita, you ready?
Okay, while he gets ready, is there anyone, any of the participants that wants to make, there's a question on the, I think question on the, my name is, I develop and create play-based learning resources. I am keen to join the Girl Child program. You are welcome. Please send us email. I'll share the email on the chat box so that you can send us email after this event to be able to contact you. All right? It's a Tibe Mokeda. I hope I didn't murder your name.
Tebe Mukwena.
Tebe Mukweda. Okay. So I'm responding to your question by giving you our email so that you can get in touch with us. We'll be glad to have you join us. Yes, I've just responded to you. So anyone that has question or contribution to add, I see hands raised up on the attendees. Is it hands of recognition or for questions? I want to bring you in. Aisha to UNICEF, I think is from Nigeria. I'm bringing you up to have your question or comment. Solange Caprice, do you want to ask question or you want to make contribution? Okay. There are too many hands that are raised on the participants column. I don't know what the hands are for. Can you chat me up on the box so that I can know what you want? Dr. Star, I hope you are not having problem. I can see you on the sharing screen.
Yeah, I can't. It's such. I can't do anything.
What happened?
And
your
no one can
network?
hear me, right?
I can hear you. Can you send it to me so that I can see if I can share it from here?
Excuse me, Osita and Ada, I have the WhatsApp up, I think, where Dr. Osita had sent me the those videos. I just didn't see them to plug them in to the video presentation I did. Osita, do you want me to try to pull it up and screen share?
Please, please. Because these are girls.
Let me try to do that now.
Please.
Let me make sure I've got it up to the right place.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me go back to this and see if it'll let me do that.
Okay. Dr. Oster, can you unshare, remove yourself from sharing so that Mary can come up?
Okay. I don't know what the dings are, but tell me when you're ready. I assume these are the ones right here. I see this, so I'm going to start that one. See if we can hear that. Can you guys hear that?
No, Mary.
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
Mary. We
Yes.
are not seeing it because Dr. Prince Osita is still on the sharing.
Oh,
so yours is not coming through.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you. So I should stop sharing. So I'll stop sharing until he can get what he wants to have done.
Is it Mary sharing or Dr. Oster sharing?
I've come out of screen share because you said that he's in and that precludes me from sharing, I guess.
Yeah, because of his network. Since you have the videos, can you share them so that he can yes, please.
You want me to
Because I'm
try
sure
again?
the problem is with his network.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead and try again or send him the links or whatever?
No, you can now share it, Mary, because of your stronger network.
Okay. Let me take it back to the beginning then. There we go.
I'm student of Warrior Heights. Good morning. All right, you are welcome to today's special computer class. This special class is in support of digital girl education. As we are aware, before now we have computer classes typically, but this class is specifically to support the digital girl education, so as to get rid of gender inequality in technology and digital education. And so from this class, we'll be having actual practical computer classes to encourage our know-how and empower us on digital technology. All right, so you are all seated in a well-equipped lab, computer lab, and first I will introduce the part of what I will be looking at today. Right here we have the desktop. That's what we are working with. We are working with the desktop. I will reference also a laptop as well, so that we can have it comparison, but I will introduce us to the desktop that is in front of us, okay? My desktop is called a desktop because it is mainly placed on a desk. This is the desk. It's also the keyboard and your mouse, they also on top of it. The desktop is made up of 5 parts mainly. They are the monitor, which is the screen, which you see what you are seeing on the screen now. What you are seeing on the screen now is the content that is in the CPU. The CPU is the central processing unit. It is like the brain of the computer. It is the main frame of the computer. Everything you are seeing on the monitor isn't actually on the monitor. They are actually in the CPU. The CPU is the powerhouse. It's where everything happens. And what you have here is your keyboard. Your keyboard is connected. Everything, all of the parts of the computer are connected to the CPU. The keyboard is connected to the CPU to enable inputs. Like we have been told that the computer is an equipment or a device that processes data. And in order for this data to be processed, it has to be put into the computer.
Okay, that was one. I think there's maybe another one. Let me look and see. See if it'll load for me. Here we go.
Sure, boss. Now, before we go into it, I want someone to tell me what a computer means. Can someone define the term computer? Now, I have a new impression.
Computer is a device which we use to type, edit, store information, formatics, print out documents, things.
Okay. Can we clap for her? Now, let's go to the topic proper. We launched the topic word processing. Can someone tell me what processing means?
Computer system to type, edit, store, and print documents such as letters, magazines, books, reports, etc. Thanks.
Wonderful. Now, what is word processing package? What is word processing package? Who can tell me?
A word processing package is therefore defined as a set of programs or software used to carry out word processing activities. Thanks.
Well, now she has done well. Now, I also want to show more light on the word processing package. Who can do that for me? Someone should show more light. Now, just us. Can I have for you?
It can also be defined as a set of a program or software developed for typing, editing, storing, formatting, and printing out documents, such as
letters, magazine, methods, and reports, etc. Good. Now, I want someone to tell.
Okay, I think there might be one more. Let me just check that. And then that would be the last one here that I have anyway.
Can cause, copy, and paste text at different locations within the document. Thanks. It can print. To store and print text documents. Thanks. Keeper of text documents is possible with the help of word processing package. Thanks.
Skills for me. The word processing skills.
Saving documents, retrieving documents, and printing documents. Thanks. Closing documents, putting word processing software. Thanks.
Pick the Microsoft one. Very good time. So let us take time. With time. Microsoft one and tablets.
Okay, that would be it. I don't know what school that was. Maybe Osita can tell us.
Yeah, well, I just want to make input why I wanted the two schools in communities in Nigeria to be showcased because uh, you can see the quite difference between the video you shared previously and this. There's a lot of differences. The fact remains that most of these computer teachers, they are willing to educate the students, but they lack the full package, of being able to train them. So they now lean on just the simple knowledge, literacy, digital education, which they can pick from the books. So with your suggestion and recommendation for on NASA to work with YouGether Global, these two schools should be our pilot centers to see how YouGether can help improve on their computer department. Now, with Professor Nicholas, I see that most of the you're geared towards the northern part of Nigeria. is there any possibility of balancing the equation by coming down to the southern part? Because these two schools seems to be in the southern part. Why I say this, because with this present era, if there's no effort made by stakeholders on digital education, we still will not be able to advance digital education in the minds of these young ones. Unmute yourself.
You want a response on that?
Yes, because I'm excited with what you guys are doing in the northern part of the country. Then how can Youth-Gether Global be part of those initiatives, especially since we are rooted on the communities? We couldn't get the video project from South Africa, Tanzania, and Uganda. But I'm just trying to tell that what you just see from these two last videos is not is similar to what is happening in the communities of this. And that is why Youth-Gether Global is committed to see how best this can improve.
Okay, what we can simply do is to reach out to some universities in southern Nigeria to partner with them. That's one of the things we can do. Just identify a few universities in southern Nigeria, maybe south, southeast, southwest, and partner with them on the community development project. To encourage girl child to develop those digital skills. I want to tell you that here in the North, what we are doing, we have already identified 3 schools that are purely girls schools with a population of over 3,000. That's just Northeast alone. In the next 2 weeks, we are going to start implementing some programs to develop their digital skills. And so by the time we extend that to North Central Nigeria and Northwestern Nigeria, we should be looking at reaching 10,000 girls, in the coming year.
So if you
Can
get
I
this,
say something?
if you have this university in Southeast or South, and then you partner with them, how could these other schools benefit from that partnership?
Which of the schools? The community schools?
That's exactly what I was going to address.
Yes.
Okay, the community schools. Yes, the universities would identify the communities that they could work with. That's exactly what we have done here. Okay, we have identified those communities, and then we have identified the schools, okay, that we are working with. So we can replicate them in southern Nigeria. Identify the universities, which in turn will identify the immediate communities, because the university has 3 mandates: research, teaching, and community service. So we are leveraging
Teaching
that
and community
tripod,
service.
that element of community service. So, but then the university empowers those immediate communities. And then from there, you could identify other communities that such services can be extended to. So basically, that's it. We identify the universities, and then the universities will identify the key communities that we can work with.
Okay, how is it funded? Is it the university that funds it? The funding, how do you have the funding for
such? The funding, yes, we are hoping that the communities, the various development, they have development councils. Most of these communities have development councils, okay? And so we are hoping that they could make some kind of contribution, but we are also hoping to reach out to philanthropists, here, and then they can also make their own contribution. Of course, you also have organizations who have corporate social responsibilities to the community. So we are also hoping to leverage on that, the community service, CSR, corporate service responsibility of some of the organizations, big time organizations here in the North to leverage funds for that.
Wow. So, well, thank you for that. And I think I can make recommendation of one or two colleges in the southeast for you if you think we can.
Well, we can work it out.
Yes, we can work it out. But the fact remains that when it comes to issue about funding, that is where the problem is. Yes. So, Mary, do you think that Youth-Gather Global can be able to partner with NASA to help with these goals in developing countries, improve on their digital education? One, they need the both teaching and learning materials as well as the human personnel. These three angles is really lacking in being able to advance digital education or skills or digital skills.
I know two entities where NASA has granted funds for things. One of them was the grant, and that it's still a research grant with the innovator that I mentioned. That innovator happens to be a professor at a university in Texas. Okay, there's a potential for actually hitting some universities outside of Africa that would love to maybe partner on something like this. So that's something that, as the professor was talking, is kind of rolling around in my mind right there. The other entity is someone that Dr. Anamika and I both are very close to, and that's Dr. Aaron Smith, who was able to secure a NASA grant to do some sort of, educational types of things in the high school where he works. So it's a possibility we can go down that avenue, but also look at some other universities. One of the things I'm thinking of, and Dr. Anamika and I both have talked to Robert Branch, who's been very tied into the historically Black colleges in the United States, and they kind of come under one umbrella in the U.S., and that one umbrella makes decisions for kind of all of them. So being able, I do know that we're working on a project with that all-encompassing umbrella right now through Robert Branch. It might be worth our while to sit down with him. Maybe Dr. Anamika and I can do that, since we know him well, and see where we might be able to get to with the digital education, maybe a little bit of funding for that for you guys. It's just the only system I know that actually falls under one umbrella in the United States as far as universities go. I mean, we can certainly handpick some other universities, but if you can get to one entity and they can get to a whole bunch, then that makes more sense. So if we can try to go that route, Dr. Anamika, I see you on screen, so you shake your head if you think so.
Well, it's a very serious concern, especially now that the entire world is going digital, and when we don't have resources and materials to encourage this guy. And again, it's not only affecting the digital education, it's also affecting the STEM education in communities. So we want to explore on that. Probably we will come back to this to see how they can work with Youth-Gather Global. We have about 10 schools or more, and the challenges are all the same.
Yeah. I can see that, I've been working with Dr. Anamika on laptops. You and I were conversing earlier this week on laptops. Mm-hmm. It's not hard to get your hands on old used laptops here in the United States. It's not hard at all. I was able to get my hands on 17 like in no time at all.
It's not about the cost.
Yeah, it's the cost of shipping them.
The cost, yes.
And the problem is with the ones that I was able to get a hold of, I had to ship them over to Utah to a nonprofit organization that was able to reimburse me for that shipping cost. And that shipping cost of those 17 was $280. He reimbursed me for that cost.
That was cheap. If you have that $280 to
I'm in North
Nigeria,
Carolina,
that would be fine.
anyway, that was how much it cost to, and not knowing what shape any of these laptops were in. I was just told some of them may work, some of them may not, some of them may be missing, like cords and stuff to juice them up and all. But it didn't matter because he said we have the capability of refurbishing these. He needed them for a library they had built in Malawi near a refugee center. And so he needed 30 of them for that library. They build these entities all over the world in marginalized areas of the world. And so he was looking for those things. The fact that he was able to reimburse me is what made that work. But, we can talk to different places, different entities and see once they get those refurbished. I asked him, I said, how are you going to get them to Malawi? 3 to 5 at a time with people heading to Malawi. They have boots on the ground to be able to hit the airport and secure those and take them to the location. But that's kind of how they're doing it. It so happened I had about 3 people that were heading to Malawi in the next month that I was able to kind of connect with. But, sending them all at once, which is a lot of these entities like to do if you were to connect with the one in New York that refurbishes and has a whole inventory of them, they pack a whole crate if they can. Or a container of some kind and send them over. And you're talking about lots of money to get them over to where you would want to take ownership of them. And they'd have to make sure that whoever got them, it could get them to the right place without any interaction from people that might take them or assess more taxes and all that kind of stuff. I do know in India, that's a real problem too, is you can't get anything on the ground. It gets embargoed almost immediately sometimes and then held for ransom type of thing. So there's always that worry from people in the US that that's what's going to happen to things when they send. So I'm just being honest. So I'll just tell you, there's ways around this. It just takes some real serious creative and strategic thinking. That's it.
Yes, that is why we need to look source for partners that can help Youth-Gether Global. Because just like the one we were discussing a few days ago, the school is quite interested, but when they saw the budget, they couldn't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? They can't afford it. And these things are highly needed. So we'll talk about that. Like, Prince Oster, I think you want to come in, and then we'll hand it over to Dr. Monica to conclude the program. Yes. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Dr. Oster, you are having some questions, right? He's looking at me. He's not talking.
No, I was just going to make a comment to support Professor Iwokwa's position.
Okay.
The reason why he's able to do what he's doing is that he's teaching at Mina and he's a visiting professor in Yola. So he stands astride both colleges. If he was just in Mina, getting across to Yola would have been uphill for him. So the luck we have is that he's there now, and he's going to be there till the end of the year.
We need more of what he's doing, but we need to expand it to the Southeast. Even if privately, we need what he's doing, yes. Because I know, yes. Even if privately, so because it's a trauma.
So,
I feel it. It's a trauma, So
yeah,
at least,
so we will talk with him.
Yeah, we have to hook up with him. And if his project is geared through universities, then we can think about the Center for Sustainable Education for Nnamdi Azikiwe University. What did they call it? Sendensa. If we can, if it must be through university, then we'll think about how we can work with that department to see how best the few schools we have in Southeast can benefit from this project. While we work with Mary to see how we can get international sponsors or support. Because it's not just bringing the computer, we're also looking for teachers. We need to train the trainer, which is very important. Okay, look at what students children internationally are doing with computers and digital education. We don't have such, we have not advanced to such in communities. So these are the kind of things. We think about training the teachers. You all know that those who go to university to do computer engineering or whatever, it is not matter of theoretical aspect of education, but the practicality we need. And then we are in a country that once you graduate in certain departments, you just go into, you don't go through into 1 year training into practical development, which is what most of them do overseas. So we are challenged, and this is where I say that we need Professor Nicholas more on this project, because his presentation, I told you, is a thriller to me. To help us develop the curriculum on Digit Girl Child. We are looking at the resources, we are looking at the students, we are looking at the teachers. So these are very important. And if we don't achieve it, then what we are doing on digital education, just like during the year of the lockdown, these schools were not in, the students were not in school. They were not in school. Only the school, the rich school, and the children of the rich were in school in Africa. Those in communities were never in school. So it didn't go well because of what? They lack the digital opportunity to acquire the education through online. So our time is fast spent. I think Professor Nicholas, we are going to have meeting myself, Dr. Osita, and Mary will want to come back as follow-up on this, please. So my second name is Oliver Twist, and you know what it means.
Okay, I'm ready for you. It's okay.
All right.
That's what we are doing. Yeah, that's what we are doing. So it will be my pleasure.
Thank you so much. So Ambassador Monica, over to you on the program.
Thank you so very much. This brings us to our Youth Together Global Governing Council. His Royal Highness Prince Dr. Osita Nika, you're on next to give us your view on the child. How far? What next? Dr. Osita. The Royal Highness Prince, are you online?
His network.
Oh, his network.
Mute yourself.
Yeah, I have a horrible experience today with network.
That's what we're talking about.
Digital. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Can anyone hear me? Yes. I'm actually ashamed to be discussing digital content without connectivity, without power. There's been no power in my environment in the last 48 hours. So that means that it's affecting the connectivity stand next to me. The network provider next to me does not have power too. So what we're doing now is building and packing things from wherever we can find them. But if I have the time, my power and connectivity, I just will take the next 5 minutes to share with you what we call ADAGE, the African Digital Arts in Girls Education that Youth-Gether Global has planned for the next 1 year. What it means is that we're looking at the possibility of creating opportunities for our girls, and then also making it possible for them to not just be trained, but to be competent enough to compete with the rest of the world. For those of them who already have skills, we're going to reskill them. For those of them who are doing something now with or without conventional education, we're going to retool them. What Youth-Gether Global is doing, if you see, I will just show you one or two things here that will go beyond the concept note. Our 4 E's, education, empowerment, entrepreneurship, and exchange, is growing because we're sharing knowledge, ideas, resources, and teaching and learning methodologies that have grown very well in our first 2 years. We started in 2020, and it's making it possible for us to attract young people who are ready, willing, and available to make the next, to take the next step and make success of it. So if we leave that, you'll see the kind of ambition that we have. YouthGether Global is looking at all of this. We're looking at the digital dozen, which is our plan. The idea is to pull adage, into a 12-point agenda. The first one being digital media production, the DMP, where there's photography, videography, editing, and studio operations management. We go further from that to what we call automating image. We're deploying application in programming interface, and then delivering images and videos fast, even for first timers. Because what is happening now is that people go online, our young people go online and see what's happening elsewhere, but they can't even experiment here because of what Dr. Ada and Mary Kurek said. The tools are not here. Even if they have the capacity or they have interest, they can't go beyond just being ready, because there's nothing to work with. We also do original equipment manufacturers representation. This is what will help them become significant in the global economy. And then we're also looking at them making money, because this is an entrepreneurship approach. There's certified Google trainer. Almost every youth in other parts of the world are Google trainers now. They do whatever they want to do, with opportunities, including certification and global competitiveness, digital marketing and campaign, online store, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, virtual call centers, and digital subscription services. Then online teaching is the in thing now. The brick and mortar universities are slowing down, and then we should be able to get our girls to begin to look into online course development, and then MOOC. Because if you look at the massive open online courses, it's ruling the world now. I know people here, who have earned certificates from the best colleges in the world just because MOOC was possible. So let's say virtual journalism, people online now, we have newspapers all over the place, private and public, digital accounting, niche website owner, application software and coding, and then digital consulting. This is something that any young girl can do anywhere in Africa. And last but not the least, the custom drone builder. Almost everything now is done via drone. So we're looking at the next 1 year, beginning from tomorrow, between now and the next celebration and commemoration of the International Day of the Girl Child, to be able to plan this on the continent, using Nigeria, Tanzania, South Africa, and Uganda as our 4 cardinal points, the 4 legs of the table to, to develop this. And then working with Professor Iwokwa, we're also thinking about creating and recreating what is happening now, matching it with what our girls in South Africa have. If you know what these 3 ladies, that presented, well, the third one didn't come. If you know what these 2 ladies are doing in South Africa, you understand how far we want to go with YouthGether Global. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my prince, for that amazing remark. Now we're going to go to appreciation and closing remark. And South Africa seems to be running away with the technology so far, from the tech guru who I was so impressed as to.
Costa, can you remove the screen?
Yes, I'm trying to stop sharing, but you know that I'll lose control. Just take me off sharing. Take off sharing so that it comes back on its own. Can you do that, Dr. Ada? My connectivity is faulty.
And these are the ups and downs.
Ada, are you there? Exactly.
It has to be you that will remove it.
Okay, I can do that now. Okay.
There you go.
Done.
And this brings us to the closing of our program, which was so necessary and effective and essential, because as we enter into this era of technology, we see that there are so many things that still have to be addressed. For example, all of the technical difficulties that we share. So in as much as tech is so advanced and we are trying to bring it into the marginalized rural areas, we have to see that power is one of the things that we have to be aware of and that we have to address. So we're back to South Africa, and our Secretary General for Youth Together Global, Her Royal Highness Princess Tahib, I want to say this right.
Sheffy.
So of course, I expect you to say your name correctly. The floor is all yours. And I must say, I love your colors this morning. They're beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Sanchez. And I've just come back from the Caribbean in Guyana, so which means I'll have to come back for you so that we can at least have just that short course on how to pronounce our names. This is where you come from, this is your mother continent, but we appreciate you. Thank you so much for for captaining this program of today. We highly appreciate it. And I would like to say greetings to Mayor Chancellor, Mayor Ada Okiko, to say greetings to His Royal Highness Prince Dr. Osita. I greet Mary Kurek. I greet all our governing council members, even in absentia, the very engine of the Youth Gather. And we are seeing today they have worked so hard. Just within 2 years, they have added the programs, all because of the passion they have for our children, for our youth. We really appreciate you. If I had everything, I would be going. Thank you so much. And we would like to say also thank you to our moderator. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the great work that you have done. And I greet you all, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your being here, taking time and being with us. We appreciate all those that have put their comments, their suggestions, they challenging us as well. And we needed that. We needed to see all your interaction. That is why you are here, not just to sit, but to really give us your views so that we can continuously grow in the offering, in the serving of our communities, and so that we can see the Africa that we want for the future and even for the now. Thank you so much. We feel honored indeed that you took time to be with us. We would like to say on behalf of the Governing Council, thank you to everybody. Thank you to all our speakers, Professor Nicholas, for taking time and being with us and preparing that vision. We know that also this relationship to all our speakers, it doesn't end today. As at Youth Gather, we are people of action. We are people that speak very less, but you will see action happening. You have already heard from our Chancellor that really saying, you know what, let it not end here. Let us see from the presentation into those spaces, into our areas, into those girls. So to all our speakers, our panelists, fireworks, Yandisa, Lesiho, fireworks, and I know that it's not just the talk, but you have walked the talk. That is why also we would really like to see you working with us and moving forward and also creating the Africa we want to see. You already have contributed in the continent, in South Africa as well. So now can we now just partner as well and allow us to be selfish in our own as Youth Gather Global, so that we can continue working together, continue making a difference in our spaces, in our countries. And we also have in our attendees, our members that have said they love what they see, they love what they hear, and they would like to join us into this journey. We already have put in our question in our Q&A space, the email address where you can contact us And from there, we will be engaging with you. We have the counseling members that are very kind and very knowledgeable. These are people that are driving us. These are people that have been working very hard to making sure that our aspirations and our objectives are achieved. They simplify things. They don't make things to be complicated, which is why we are still here and we are pushing. And also, happy 2nd anniversary to YouthGether. Hey, we have done it. We have walked. You know, Yandisa said so, that please open up the circle, open up the space on the table up until to the 5th year. We are still walking the path. I think by now we have launched about 7 countries in the continent, and we are still counting. And to those that had a question as to saying, where are the children? We, last year we had a webinar with our children that were powerful. We have the children, you have seen their videos. I can speak for my region. In our area, we even have invited them, but the issue of the challenges of data, the challenges of also access to the computers. So which is why now we have these partners. We are going to make sure that that can be the challenge of the past. We have done talking, but that is what the challenge is. Other than that, on the ground, we do have the girls, we do have the youth that we are working with. It's just that now we will be seeing them, not just the videos. We have also Kenya. Kenya, also they have the refugee camps, and they have been doing this program of the digital girl, and they have really empowered much more girls. And then in the next section, in the next webinar, you will be seeing a lot more from them as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been such a wonderful time. It has been such a great time. The invitation from us on behalf of the Governing Council is, let us partner to advance the aspirations and the objectives of this much needed program, if project, whatever that you can call it. In the United Nations, they speak about the sustainable goal number 17, my favorite. That is why I'm able to say confidently, I'm inviting you all, please. We do have the standard, we do have the objectives that we are working on. This is the sustainable goal that partners us together so that we may achieve these goals. Remember now also, in this decade of action, we are to leave no one behind. Thank you so much. Thank you on behalf of our Governing Council, on behalf of our beneficiaries, and on behalf of our coordinators from all our countries, all the countries where they are, we say thank you, Rialeboha Siabonga. Thank you so much. Muito obrigada.
Thank you, yeah, Princess, thank you everyone. Before we take the photograph, Yandisa, please, can you come? Where is Lisego? Please be on camera for a few minutes. We want to have our record of this. This is a policy meeting. That's why we were not bothered having the girls, because we have more stakeholders and expertise in this area. So pardon us those who are asking where the girls are. We will focus more on policy ideas to move their interest forward. So bear with us. Without wasting more time, can anyone with good phone take a good photograph of this meeting? Yes. Don't cut my head though. Yes, so that we have that. Good. We apologize that we didn't have she was very active at the planning of this meeting. We don't know what happened, why she's not here today. Network, you know. So that is it.
Congratulations. Job well done.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
And
guys. Thank you very much.
Let's keep the faith. Let's keep the faith. Let's keep the faith and the will and the zeal to get this done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the
Thank you to our
representative of the
YouTube.
schools, we appreciate your participation at this event. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank you so
wonderful and
much.
blessed weekend. Dr. had a great job as usual. Prince.
We thank God. We thank God. So, Prince
powerful
Nicholas, I want more. I want more. So thank you for, and Yandisa, you are doing so well in your career. We need information as well. I think we can have you at this next meeting. We need information as how your company can be a support to helping these schools, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You
No
know,
problem.
because we don't, I don't want to talk too much anymore. I want action.
It's
I
okay.
want
It's
action.
all
We
right.
need
It's
action.
okay.
Even if we don't have means of giving 100 computers, but let's have means of giving one or two computers and plan to do train the trainer workshop, because that is very important. We have gone
Yes.
from the era of computer is for storing, computer is for data. We want to do more with computer, with digital education right now. So
That's true.
thank you. Oh, Mary is out. Thank you, Mary, for that documentary, that video research. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you,
And,
everybody. Have a great
and
weekend. Thank
happy
you.
weekend to everyone.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
leaving.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, South Africa.
Thank you. Good morning, New York.
Good day. Good. It's now good day, New York.
Good
Thank
day, New
you.
York.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. Please, let's
Bye-bye.
get that presentation from him. Prince. Dr. Osita, you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.